A community group in Brooklyn Park that's working to bring peace to the city has now been victimized by the same gun violence it's trying to prevent. According to Brooklyn Park Police, at around 6 p.m. Sunday, officers responded to shots fired at a gas station near 63rd and Zane. Investigators say a man came out from behind one of the buildings and started firing at a group of people, including members of Minnesota Acts Now and others who were making a video. Police say that the shooter was firing his weapon randomly, so the intended target was unclear. A vehicle belonging to Minnesota Acts Now was struck 5 times and it had to be towed away. The shooter fled, but surveillance video captured the incident. Police say they do plan to step up patrols near 63rd and Zane.
It's been very quiet since Minnesota Acts Now has been down there connecting with people, but it's heavy lifting type work. I mean, this is an area that is very challenged, had a lot of violent crime, has a lot of drug sales going on down there, and so there's going to be people that are going to be unhappy with community members kind of taking back their street corner, and it's work that we're committed to with them right now.
Police say there was another shooting in the parking lot of an LA Fitness near the 6600 block of 96 Lane North at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Several vehicles were struck, but no injuries were reported. The driver involved in a fatal crash Saturday night in Brooklyn Center has been identified. The State Patrol says 30-year-old Javier Granados of Minneapolis died when his Ford Econoline van lost control at the exit from Highway 100 to Humboldt Avenue. The vehicle rolled down an embankment and landed on its side on the highway. The crash caused police to close a portion of northbound 100 for an extended amount of time on Saturday night. Weeks after the federal eviction moratorium ended, many renters are at risk of losing their homes. Plymouth-based Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners says it's seeing more people coming in for rent assistance. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us the impact the end of the moratorium is having on the nonprofit.
People don't typically think of folks struggling to pay rent in Plymouth or the surrounding western suburbs, but there are some people who are barely making ends meet.
14% are in poverty. And so if you think of a family of 4, that's about $26,500 a year. And the average rent in our area is about $1,400. That math does not work.
Many residents face instability in housing during the height of the pandemic. And now that the moratorium on rent evictions has ended, people are struggling. Interfaith officials say the ending of the rent moratorium is creating a domino effect. They say more people are using the food shelf and other services.
We are seeing an increase for requests financially for large medical bills would be one of them.
Last year, the nonprofit helped about 200 families who were experiencing homelessness. Officials anticipate that number to increase in the next few weeks as people try to catch up on rent after the federal program ended.
There's also been requests for people wanting support because they need to move and leave the area.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
On Monday, November 1st, Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners will kick off its annual Sleep Out fundraiser. The goal is to raise $3 million to prevent homelessness. As the pandemic wore on, drug overdoses increased. It's why Brooklyn Park Police and other departments are making extra efforts to get unwanted medications out of the wrong hands. In Brooklyn Park on Saturday, police packaged up several large boxes of unused prescription drugs dropped off by the public. It added up to nearly 200 pounds. According to police, the city has seen several overdose deaths this year.
People accumulate this stuff over the years, and it's good that we're able to get it out of their houses so that it doesn't get into the wrong hands if someone were to break into their house or whatever the case may be.
The main Brooklyn Park Police Station has a drug drop-off bin that's open 7 days a week. If you have your afternoons free, you might just want to go find a nice bench in the sun. Neil Persley explains.
We have a large group here today, the Red Wing Seniors.
The concept of the theater is to be of service to groups mainly.
Say, now with Gary Block Tours, we do have an anniversary.
We have tour operator groups, we have retiree groups, we have church groups, we have company groups, we have all kinds of groups who actually need things to do during the daytime. We are primarily a daytime theater.
After the Plymouth Playhouse closed at the end of 2017, there really wasn't another outlet like this in the Northwest Metro.
Do you have to make all that noise?
It's called chewing, remember?
What is that supposed to mean?
It means that some of us can still eat solids.
I eat solids.
Pills don't count.
The show on stage is called A Bench in the Sun, and it turns out Bert and Harold are from Maple Grove and Crystal.
Two elderly gentlemen living in a retirement home. They're more frenemies than anything else. And then you throw in a retired actress into the mix, and it gets kind of funny.
Harold, I think, introduces Adrienne to Bert, not thinking that Bert's going to be a romantic rival, but he turns out to be.
Imagine Grumpy Old Men meets The Odd Couple. The script is laced with snappy one-liners, and if Harold can make it in from Crystal and Bert can get there from Maple Grove, I guess Bloomington isn't that far after all.
Mel Brooks said this play is very wise, very moving, but most of all, very funny.
I agree.
Don't you have any party pajamas?
In Bloomington, Neil Persley, CCX News.
You can see A Bench in the Sun at Day Trippers Dinner Theater in Bloomington. There's daytime and evening performances this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
The high school football playoffs begin this week for local teams. Section play in Class 5A, the second largest class, starts Tuesday for some, while others have a bye into Saturday. Collin Park Center and the group that's done well enough to get a bye. Jay Wilcox has more on the Pirates.
Improvement is usually a gradual thing in high school football. For Park Center this season, it's been a complete 180. From 0 wins in the shortened 2020 season to a 7-1 regular season mark this fall. It's been a blast, but the guys also know it isn't time to rest on their laurels.
We always stay focused. We always try to get better through the week, and we have a mindset saying that let's go 1-0 each week. So that's how we stay focused each week and each practice.
I can honestly tell you, I don't have to remind them. They know. They tweet it 1-0, new week 1-0.
The Pirates have not only been winning, they have dominated. Other than a 6-point loss to a still undefeated Mound West Tonka squad, the Pirates' average score is 40-8. It has to be noted, though, it's an easier schedule than some recent Pirates teams have faced.
You know, you got to start somewhere. You know, this program has been through topsy-turvy, up and down, and us being able to, I guess people want to say we moved down. I mean, we play a 5A section coming up. I believe that we've gone through our schedule and we've had one close game against Mound West Tonka. So I just look at it like we got a really good team that has proven that they can win and win big.
The Pirates are in Section 6 of Class 5A for the playoffs, where they earned the number 2 seed behind Rogers and just ahead of Spring Lake Park. The competition is sure to be tougher than most of their regular season opponents. It's a chance to see just how much a senior-laden Park Center team has improved.
And we've been talking about that a lot. Me and number 7, Micah, we've been saying like, yeah, the season's going good so far, but we have to get even more disciplined and better than what we've been doing the past few games, because the playoff is going to get real tough, and we're going to see who really wants it or not.
It's been a great ride so far, and the Pirates are eager to see how far they can go. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
A longtime coach and teacher in the area has passed away. Greg Gilreath, who coached Brooklyn Center boys basketball starting in the late 1980s into the early 2000s, died at the age of 61. For nearly 20 years, you could find Greg Gilreath on the sidelines, coaching boys basketball at Brooklyn Center High School. In this 2004 story that we aired, he talked about coaching at BC.
I enjoy working with a lot of these young men because a lot of these young men sometimes have a habit of coming to me outside of the coaching, and that's where I feel I fulfill a lot of my needs as a role model for a lot of these young men and just basically a father figure for a lot of these gentlemen in the area.
The players he coached and mentored felt the impact he had on them.
he's there for me, like, you know what I'm saying, emotionally after games when I have bad games and when stuff going on at home, he's there for me. So he's there for me other than being a coach.
Let's go, go get it, right there.
Coach Gill, as almost everyone called him, played high school basketball at Marshall University High in Minneapolis in the late 1970s. In the classroom, he worked for 3 decades as a Phi Ed teacher at what is now Brooklyn Center Elementary School.
If we could do something, exercise every morning, oh, they'll be so ready for school.
If I could turn their heads and tell them that it's more than just basketball in life, that I've been successful. The wins and losses come in years and they go in years, but you can't put a handle on how much these guys can become men. And that's my goal. And if I can make them a better person in life, I've succeeded.
Gill passed away a few days ago after a 2-year battle with cancer. He was just 61 years old. Funeral services for Greg Gilreath are Tuesday morning in Minneapolis.